I was very concerned to hear from the Food Safety Authority of Ireland last night that as a result of a relatively small level of testing that they did before Christmas on beef products, predominantly frozen beef burgers, that they were testing the ingredients of those burgers, in other words, what was in them. Whereas I have some concerns that there were very, very limited, in fact minute in most cases, traces of horse DNA and pig DNA. And I can understand how there could be very, very limited traces of pig DNA if they're being produced in factories where pig meat would have been coming through in a number of days earlier, and so on. We're talking about minuscule levels of 0.1% or less in some cases. What was of real concern was that in one of the burgers tested, 29% of the meat in that burger was horse meat. That's not acceptable. We pride ourselves in Ireland as having the best traceability systems in the world in terms of where our meat comes from, and having the best safety system, food safety system, in terms of inspections in meat factories and so on in the world. And we do have the best systems in the world, and we need to have, because we rely on exports more than any other country. And so reputation is everything. And so something like this is not helpful. And that is why from early this morning we have had our vets in the factory concerned, which is up in Monaghan, looking through paperwork and speaking to management and trying to get to the bottom of how on earth we could get a test result of 29% of the meat in a burger, which is about 70% of the burger, could be traced to horse meat, when that factory does not slaughter horses or buy any horse meat. And so we will have answers to those questions in the coming days, hopefully within 48 hours, but let's see. At the moment, the explanation looks like it's coming from additives that were imported, actually mostly from outside of Ireland, to add to beef meat to make up burgers that were very much for the sort of low end of the market in terms of frozen cheap burgers in supermarkets. But whatever the reasoning here and whatever happened, we need to find out the truth of it. We need to be absolutely upfront about it. We need to be totally transparent in relation to it, and we need to make damn sure it never happens again. Because we can... All of you, and I would confidently predict that at least 2/3 of this room are beef farmers. And all of you rely on your beef, after you raise it, being sold predominantly outside of Ireland, being processed here, having added value to it here, and by and large, the meat factories and food companies in Ireland are particularly good at what they do. But when something like this happens, we need to respond quickly and comprehensively and deal with the issue and ensure that the people and the companies that buy Irish meat are reassured without delay. And I can promise you that that will happen. And I can promise you that in the meantime, I will speak up for your sector and make sure that we don't allow others who don't understand this industry and how it works to give a response that is not appropriate to what has happened here. Let's just be clear. This is as a result of the testing of 27 burgers. All right? And we are doing a lot more testing now in the factory concerned so that we can get up-to-date information as of today in terms of the meat products that are being produced there. This is only in the category of burgers in relation to the horse meat. And so I think it is important to put that into perspective, while at the same time taking it seriously in order to defend all of the work that we have done to build the reputation of this industry that is so valuable to your incomes into the future. So I would appeal to you also as an organisation. I know there'll be a lot of annoyance at this, but let's not overreact, and let's not give our competitors in other countries an excuse to overly focus on Ireland in a way that's not appropriate. And let me deal with this issue. I can assure you I will deal with it thoroughly in terms of our vets, in terms of our inspection systems, and all of the other systems that actually have kicked into place in a way that they should have when something like this happens. And we are working on an hourly basis with the Food Safety Authority to make sure that that is the case. The other thing I want to emphasise is there is absolutely no food safety issue here. That has been confirmed by the Food Safety Authority. What is at issue here is people need to know what they're eating and they need to know where it comes from. And so from that point of view, we need to get to the bottom of what's happened.